This video is for the practice owner or director who's trying to decide what to do about MIPS. As you've already learned, MIPS is the most significant change in our careers, the most complex program we've ever seen. 4 million different permutations of the rule for each patient, different rules for different patient ages, complex scoring algorithms. They're tough to understand. Tightening rules each year. Every year it's tougher and tougher to comply. In 19, we need a 30 score to avoid takebacks. In 20, we need a 50. 21, we need a 70 score to avoid takebacks. And your instinct is correct. This is why you should opt into MIPS for 2019. Get good at playing the game, if you will. Heaven forbid you start working with MIPS in 20 or 21 when it's a lot harder to succeed and you have no experience and everyone else is experienced. It's expensive. $1,300 added cost per therapist per year. You've seen those costs. And it's crazy. CMS hasn't even finalized publishing all the rules for MIPS. All of this is one giant headache. And practice owner, the main theme of this video, of this presentation, is to clear your mind. This is the wrong way to make the decision about what to do about MIPS. As the practice owner, your job is not to be the master of MIPS. Honestly, you could spend 40 hours studying this topic and you'd still have a ton of questions. As you already know, you can attend webinars provided by compliance experts and leave with more questions than when you started. Or, as you've seen, you can watch webinars from your EMR. Intimidating. More rules, more work, more cost, more risk. My opinion, those webinars are presented to be over-complex and intimidating, to try to make you overlook the high costs that they're peddling. Again, clear your mind. This is not the way to make the decision about MIPS. As the practice owner, your job is not to be the master, to understand every detail. Your job is to restore your patient's functionality, to return the joy in your patient's lives. That's why you went to school. That's why you get out of bed every morning. Your job is to find the business partner who delivers the highest MIPS compliance with the least disruption to your therapist's workflow at the lowest cost. Literally. Find a business partner, a technology partner who will take care of MIPS. Delegate it. Your job is to restore the patient's functionality. This is how you should be thinking. MIPS is all about technology. The CMS is forcing healthcare to embrace technology, to improve patient outcomes, increase patient engagement, to work with end-to-end electronic reporting and be interoperable with others, communicate with other medical providers electronically. Again, important as a practice owner to recognize this is going to happen. We're being forced. In outpatient rehab, you're going to find 3 approaches to MIPS. One approach from smaller EMRs who lack technology, they attempt to bolt on solutions. Look, you can use a different software program to track outcomes. You can use a different patient relationship module for patient engagement. You can bolt on a registry and submit, and interoperability is required in 2020, but they're not discussing this. This approach from these small EMRs is not good. It leaves the practice working with 4 different software programs, 4 different vendors. I've got to log into this, log into that. That's not practical. And you're paying for those 4 different software programs and vendors, and not acceptable. The second approach to MIPS in outpatient rehab, larger EMR providers are integrating all solutions into one system. Now this is the answer. You've got one vendor, one software program, one login. But these EMR providers are charging extra for each of these features, swindling you, saying, of course, yes, you could be compliant with MIPS for a price. Our advice on solving this problem. The way to choose the right technology partner is to find the technology company who's delivered the highest compliance with the components of MIPS in the past. Someone whose MIPS workflow is the least disruptive to therapist efficiency. Remember, your job is not to spend your time doing MIPS. I know MIPS is required. Your job is to restore the patient's functional deficit. And remember, ultimately, outcomes, or who will win or lose, highest outcomes with MIPS. MIPS doesn't help progression. A technology partner who provides the above at the lowest cost. You want to find a technology partner who will do their job, give you a compliant, efficient, low-cost MIPS workflow so that you can do your job. This is the right way to think about MIPS. Compliance. As you know, for 2019, the components of MIPS will be participating in quality and improvement activities. Quality, 85% of the MIPS score. The majority of quality PQRS is now referred to as MIPS quality measures. And again, this is a more complex process because different PQRS measures have different rules based on different patient ages. Seriously. An 18-year-old walks in your practice and the MIPS requirements for that patient are different than what's required to be reported for the 66-year-old. Seriously. PQRS was last used in outpatient rehab in 2016. At that time, and we surveyed thousands of practices when we present our system, 60% of the industry complied with PQRS, and they report it was a 5 to 12-minute workflow. During that same time, 2016 Systems for PT practices were 99.3% compliant with PQRS, and our workflow was a 10-second workflow. Medicare is obviously observing your practice, tracking your practice, judging your practice, and maybe punishing your practice. Not with an army of employees, but with a supercomputer. The key to thriving with MIPS is to use your own supercomputer. Systems for PT results in 2016 demonstrate the compliance and efficiency that you're looking for. And again, on top, not only did we deliver the highest compliance, but also the MIPS workflow that is least disruptive to therapist efficiency, leaving the most time for hands-on treatment for higher progression, ultimately winning at MIPS. Cost. Thinking about cost, we also have to think about the other dynamics in outpatient rehab. Did you see the CMS 2019 final rule? PTA's quotas will soon be paid 15% less than PTs and OTs. That's not going to help. CMS discussed minimizing or eliminating documentation on daily notes. That's attractive. But when the APTA reported on this, did you catch the fine print? CMS argues the reduced paperwork would offset the payment drop. Reduced paperwork will be accompanied by reduced reimbursements. All the while, our costs are sure to increase. These are some of the typical costs you see, and these are the costs that Systems for PT incurs millions of dollars of added expense. We presented this cost structure to Joe Montgomery, Systems for PT's founder and president, the executive team. It was a fascinating discussion. We presented this cost structure. Here's what it's going to cost for MIPS for our customers. And Joe said, let me get this straight. Payers will lower our customers' reimbursements. We said, yes, that's clarified in the final rule. I'm sure there's more to come. Joe said, during this time of lower reimbursements, you're suggesting raising prices. Of course, we're incurring millions of dollars of expenses. Yes. Joe then replied, if this happens, our customers won't stay in business, and we won't have any customers. And as such, Systems for PT's policy on charging for MIPS, Systems for PT doesn't charge for MIPS. Systems for PT is a technology partner who understands our role in our relationship. This is what a business partner looks like. We understand that you don't get up every day to treat patients, earn reimbursements to send it off to the EMR. We understand that we've got to keep you and your therapist efficient, hands on the patient, compliant with healthcare reform, and profitable, so you can invest those earnings into improving your practice so that we thrive. We understand our role in that relationship. Outpatient rehab is turning into, but should not be, ever-increasing rules, ever-decreasing time to treat, ever-declining reimbursements, and ever-rising EMR charges and add-on fees. We all know there will be more programs in the future, more rules, and what is it? From your EMR, that's going to mean more price increases? This is not tenable as reimbursements decline. Said differently, the purpose of your practice is not to earn a meager revenue, which is then sent off to the EMR provider, right? Our industry isn't a funnel designed to send cash to the EMRs. Our industry is about improving patient function. You don't get out of bed every day to make the EMR or the venture capital bank that owns them rich. And so let's summarize. Let's return to the three approaches to managing MIPS and outpatient rehab. Number one, small EMRs who lack technology, they bolt on solutions. This is not scalable. Crazy, you're going to spend your time logging into 4 different systems? No, you need to spend your time hands on the patient. And EMRs who don't have the technology to integrate their own code to comply with MIPS, they're not going to make it. They don't have the cash, the balance sheet necessary to invest. These companies are going to wash out. You don't want to be associated with them. Option 2, the larger EMRs that provide fully integrated solutions. This is the answer. But again, the extra charge, this is not a partner. You're looking at a company holding your practice hostage for higher fees. And I understand that those other EMRs say, hey, we're incurring other costs, this is only fair. Wrong. Their role in the relationship is to improve efficiencies, increase technologies, so that they can make you compliant at lower costs. The third approach we haven't talked about. Systems 4PT integrates all these solutions into one system. So you're working with one software program at no extra charge. This is what a business partner looks like. Systems 4PT understands our role in the relationship to provide you with technology that enables you to be compliant and efficient and profitable so that you can spend your time hands-on treating the patient and deliver higher and higher levels of progression. If this is the type of business partner you're looking for, we invite you to get to know Systems 4PT. Our company is 17 years old. We're managed by our founding management team, growing rapidly, profitable, in an industry where the other 2 leading EMRs are owned by venture capital banks. Systems 4PT is independent and profitable enough that we can absorb millions of dollars of added expenses and not raise prices. Our system is specific to outpatient rehab. Our technology provides documentation that takes half the time of any other EMR. And we provide a hands-on demo you can document on your own computer to verify that. We're the only EMR that's faster than paper documentation. The only collection technology that leverages artificial intelligence with unmatched results. Our reimbursements average 9.2% higher than our practice's prior approach to billing. We measure before and after with every installation. We're the only EMR whose January through June 2018 average payment per claim was even with the January through June 2017 levels. The highest 2016 PQRS compliance in the industry. A fully integrated MIPS solution, the fastest MIPS workflow in the industry, and the only no-charge integrated MIPS functionality. We provide all this for 35% less than what you're spending today or what you will spend with other MIPS solutions. Give us a call. We'd love to learn more about you and your practice.